and really, you know, she's already been validated by the big amigo in the sky.
Yeah. So much I started on this couch right here.
Did it?
Yes.
We're sitting on So Much I.
We're sitting right on this couch. I should just write So Much I on it.
This should be forevermore known as the So Much I couch.
This is the couch of So Much I birth.
So Much I really, like, for me was reminding me from the second we did it of my friend Guy Picciotto from Fugazi. It wasn't my idea that we did anything like that, because I didn't even have anything to do with writing the song. Flea, it was something Flea came in with. But Anthony started immediately singing something that reminded me of Guy, and I started thinking of Guy's guitar playing and stuff like that, and for me it ended up being like kind of a tribute to him, even though I'm the only one who was actually thinking about him.
It reminds me of the Minutemen in the verse, which is, you know, something that makes me feel good and proud that we can somehow touch, evoke, and or glimpse the spirit of the Minutemen. You know,
I never thought of it. That's really good.
That kind of driving, you know, we're a group of guys driving this damn song around.
Yeah. It's one of our most rockin' songs.
Yeah, it moves.
It's rockin'.
It moves.
It's jammin'.
Yep. We need that.
Yeah.
As in part of the repertoire, we need that sort of that motion, that locomotion.
It reminds me, the vocal in the chorus reminds me of a blonde redhead. That's what it makes me think of.
What are you calling the chorus?
So much, It sounds like the guy, the Italian guy going, so much,
I hear that. I hear that. I also hear some Fugazi. A little Guy, maybe.
Yeah. Well, the guitar part in the verse that John plays is very kind of D-Boone-esque. Because you're thinking of the one he goes... Yeah. I guess the bass line's kind of Mike Waddy, too. It's a burning number.
Hump Day what?
Hump Day Bump.
You can't call a song Hump Day Bump.
Well, this song, which is actually being mixed as we speak...
Is it French? What is that? Hump Day Bump?
No, it's actually, it's a Cameroonese. Yeah. It started with a groove that I never would remember it, except you were like, don't forget that groove. That started off as 40 Detectives. Because I remember it was a long time ago. We were rehearsing, like, way before we started.
SIR Studios.
What were we rehearsing for?
We were rehearsing for something.
It was like way before we started writing the record.
We weren't writing the record.
Yeah, we were like getting ready to do a gig or a tour or something.
You were jamming, you came up with those chords, it sounded funky and fresh. It reminded me of...
Just yelling by myself.
Yeah, on stage.
Yeah, right.
And then it reminded me of American Ghost Dance, but a new take on that.
Yeah, well, same rhythm as Ghost Dance.
Yeah, same rhythm, but different chords and different spirit. And I just thought, you know, wow, those rhythms are worth using one more time.
Yeah.
And then you couldn't remember. We got back into songwriting mode, and I was like, how about that jam that we played at SIR?
I said, you recorded it on your phone. I mean, it's
Yeah, and then the phone machine erases everything. But, this is a song that that I was not pushing for to make the record, because I just had a few other songs that I felt more emotionally connected to, which are now on the cutting room floor.
Right.
But... after speaking to Rick today, he thinks that the song has become a very important number on the record.
Yeah, well, I also feel that way, and I've always felt that way. And I always felt like I was the only one that felt that way.
You were.
And it caused me great fear.
Fear and anxiety.
Fear and anxiety, like, how could they not love that one? This is one of the best songs. Because I think that it really parties. It's just so funky. You know, the vocals are funky, the jams are funky. I'm really excited about the horns on it, you know. I hope that they really sound like they get mixed like the James Brown horn section when it gets mixed, you know.
Yeah. Well, I'm
excited about the whole thing. I just think it slams.
Yeah. I'm not mad at it.
God, you still don't love it.
I haven't heard it mixed.
Jesus Christ. Because to me, it's like this is one of the greatest. I just love it.
Yeah,
not just because I got to play horns on it, but I just fucking love it.
Animal Bar, do you even know what that means?
Well, isn't it about animals that need some water?
If we are animals, then yes. but it's more about the life cycle. And there is actually a bar called the Animal Bar, and it's in northern Australia. And it's a tiny one-road dirt town where they don't get rain for 10 months. And at the end of that 10-month period, they're basically, everybody in the town is on the verge of death because there's been no fucking rain. And then like the first drops of rain start to fall, and it really does, you know, kind of rebirth you. And it sort of gives you the cleansing, and it just comes and washes every single thing away.
It's a great symbol, you know. I mean, not just the water, but the birth and rebirth, and the, you know, the expansion and contraction of the world.
Yeah, it's an expansion contraction thing.
What was that inspired by? What would you say? Like,
well, you know, yeah, I guess Flea was originally calling it Noi,
right.
And that was where what he was inspired by to come up with his bass line was the German group Noi.
Well, I have to say that the bridge, just selfishly as a bass player, even though I liked Hey so much, is like my favorite bass line I ever played. I'm really proud of that bass line. It's very subtle. You don't even really notice it, but it's...
I notice it.
But it has a nice effect.
It gets to me.
All the Noi songs, they all have this rhythm, boom, boom, pop, boom, 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 pop, boom, 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 pop, boom, 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 pop. So is that basically what you play on it? I mean, I know...
I'm not doing as much, but yeah.
But something along those lines, and that was what Flea was hoping for when he came up with his bass line to it. But I just saw it as a canvas just to do something different.
It's an interesting groove.
Yeah.
That's something when we started playing it, we played it for like 3 hours.
Yeah,
just the first groove over and over again.
Is it can-esque?
Yeah, kind of can-ish, Noi, kind of Noi-ish, that kind of hypnotic, pulsing, moving thing, like a simple thing that keeps moving, but really, you know, when played with the right like-minded comrades, really creates a hypnotic spell that's just a great feeling.
Yeah, I certainly love it.
We believe?
Wiziv Believe?
Did we used to call that Failafunk? Is that what we called it?
Yes, we did. Yeah.
I remember the jam.
You do?
It came from a jam. And it was one of the very first jams.
Let There Be Jam?
And I might have been playing the bass line for it at home, actually. But I didn't, like, present it. But I think it was, like, one of those things where it was, like, I had learned something about some little simple rule about theory from one of my theory books. And it was that rule that I was just playing a very simple version of it in the bass line. Some little thing. But
it always sounded like Failafunk to me.
Yeah, it was very African feeling.
It felt like an African feel.
Yeah. Yeah, it's very African feeling. And what are you singing about?
Well, I'm singing more about a feeling than an idea. It's kind of a dream. The whole lyric is kind of a dream, but it's kind of a dream that takes place 3,000 years ago.
Right.
You know, so it's not time specific. It's kind of about time travel. And just going back to a different time and place, but being in a dream, not being in reality 3,000 years ago, but being in a dream 3,000 years ago. And that's kind of what the lyrics are about. But you know, the we believe concept is just the importance of having belief and having faith and you know, believe in whatever it is that you want to believe in. Just the power that comes from believing.